What's up, guys? I just got back from Matawan, New Jersey's December 13th Premier Challenge today, and I actually did pretty good. I went 5-0 in Swiss, finished first overall in Swiss. I made it to top cut. I faced, I believe her name was Lauren Schwegler, and I ended up losing to her 2-0. It was my first top cut, and I literally went to this event just, you know, thinking the entire time, I just want to make top cut. I've never made top cut before. The closest I got to it was Spring Regionals, where I actually went 5-3. So I went into this with a positive mindset. I just wanted to make top cut. I just honestly wanted to go positive because I didn't do very well in my last Premier Challenge, which was at Matawan last month. But I ended up going 5-0, so I'm going to put all of my videos, well, actually 3 of the 5 that I had in Swiss. I played Justin Chorus in the 5th round. He didn't want me to post the video, the battle between us online, so I didn't want to, you know, disrespect him and put that out there. And I actually forgot to save my first video for my first battle because I was really stressed out, nervous, just trying to shake the rust off, and that was against Sarah Albright. Now, Sarah brought a team of Matawan, Cresselia, Venusaur, Aegislash, Thundurus, and Charizard Y. Pretty standard pledge team. We went down to the wire, actually. We went down to timer. She had a wide guard Aegislash, which was destroying my Landorus, and I couldn't rock slide the Charizard. And it came down to me sucker punching a Charizard and her Charizard, and I ended up winning on the timer because my Kangaskhan had more health than her Aegislash. That was a very close match, probably the closest match I had all of Swiss. And in round 2, I faced Andrew Schock. Now, Andrew Schock is right here on your screen. He brought the Matawan, Landorus, Charizard Y, and the Crobots, and his entire team was Charizard, Cresselia, Crobat, Sylveon, Landorus, and the Mamoswine. And if you're wondering what my team was, it's down in the comment section and in the description. You can check it out. I post EVs and stuff like that. You can. I don't even care. Like, I put the team together this morning, so you can go ahead and check that out. But I did have a team of Melodic, Landorus, Kangaskhan, Gardevoir, Conkeldurr, and who the hell was my last Pokemon? I can't even like think. Oh, Moongus. Obviously, you want to have Moongus with Gardevoir. Anyway, this match was really, really, really good. As far as it goes for being close, like it was for Sarah Albright in the round 1 going down a timer, this came down to a 1v1, and it was very interesting to say the least. So we're gonna hop right into this battle. Alright, so Andrew has a really good team, very good Mega Charizard Y-centric team. I led with my Landorus and my Melodic because I wanted to scout out to see whether or not he would lead with his own Lando to get the Intimidate on my Melodic so I can get the competitive boost, but he's smarter than that, does not lead with it. I do lead with my Melodic against his Charizard Y, which was really, really concerning to me, you know, knowing the fact that he can go for a Solar Beam onto my Melodic, but I know I could eat that up. My Melodic is very bulky, so he switches out, and he's going to switch in his Mamoswine, which was kind of questionable because I could have just went for a Skull onto that slot, and I also just went for the safe Rock Slide. Now, my Landorus is pretty conventional. It is Jolly, max attack, max speed with the Life Orb. I wanted to run Life Orb so I could both protect, and even with an Intimidate on my Landorus, I still can OHKO a Kangaskhan. Now, I just missed the KO with the Ice Beam onto the Crobat, and the Crobat is actually going to cause a lot of problems. Anyway, in this following turn, I did not want to take a Icicle Crash because at this point, I didn't know whether or not his Mamoswine was Scarfed. They typically are, but knowing, you know, now knowing that he has Tailwind on his Crobat, really wouldn't make sense to have a Scarfed Mamoswine. Unnecessary speed, and you could just protect with your Mamoswine. He will just go for the safe Earthquake, double targeting my Melodic. Obviously, it's the biggest threat to his team. And now I'm just going to get a Scold off into the Mamoswine. I could have potentially gotten a burn, but it's just going to OHKO the Mamoswine because it's very frail to begin with. So it could have actually been Scarfed Mamoswine. Didn't really know what other item it could have had on it. Didn't have a Life Orb or anything like that. But the Charizard Y is going to come in because I am in range to be knocked out with a Solar Beam beyond this point. And as you did see, my Melodic had a Key Berry on it. Very, very weird set that I ran on my Melodic. Very, very specially bulky, but the Key Berry compensates for his physical bulk. So it stays on the field very long. Alright, so Charizard's going to Mega Evolve right here. Probably I was anticipating the Solar Beam onto the Melodic. You know, an off chance that he did go for like the Heat Wave or something like that. I switched out my Landorus because I knew Landorus was the key to winning this battle against his Charizard without the Tailwind being up. And I didn't know whether or not a Charizard would actually outspeed my Landorus. But the Tailwind still is up, and that Flamethrower did so much to my Conkeldurr. My Conkeldurr is incredibly, especially bulky. It can live a Specs Hyper Voice from a Sylveon. That's how bulky it is. Now, I couldn't switch in, risk any damage onto my Kangaskhan and my Lander, so I let both of my Pokemon go down right here, and it just basically wastes another turn of Tailwind. Now, you're probably thinking to yourself, wow, this does not look good for me. Okay, Tailwind does peter out, but it still does not look good for me at all. I'm down 3-2. And he has a Landorus with the Intimidate, and he has a very fast Charizard with a Tailwind Crobat. So I'm like, shit, I gotta get rid of this Crobat. I can't let him get up another Tailwind. But he smartly knows that, and he switches into his Landorus to get the Intimidate on my Kangaskhan. Now, this damn Fake Out will not take out the Crobat. I honestly thought it still would. I am an Adamant Max Attack Kangaskhan. So I'm like, this is probably still going to KO the Crobat, but as you see here, it does not, because this is a very, very bulky Crobat. Pretty much just a main Tailwind setter with support and Super Fang. Alright, so this does not KO the Crobat, and I was like, shit, I lost. And he gets another Tailwind up. I protected with my Landorus, anticipating his Charizard to go for a Flamethrower on my Landorus. I needed to preserve it, and I didn't know how fast his Charizard was. So now, I kind of felt like he was going to go for a Super Fang on my Kangaskhan so he can knock it out with his Landorus and go for a Superpower. So I needed to get rid of the Crobat, because I couldn't let him get off a Super Fang, because I knew I could survive a Superpower. I EV'd my Kangaskhan specifically to survive a Superpower from a Landorus that does not have a Life Orb Choice Band on it, and this one is actually Scarfed. And I get a nice Life Orb Rock Slide off onto this Landorus. Now it's in Sucker Punch KO range without the Intimidate. It won't knock out the Landorus, but now I know I can go for a Rock Slide and Sucker Punch into the Landorus. I was anticipating a Protect coming from the Charizard. Sucker Punch was too obvious onto the Charizard slot, so I went for a Sucker Punch last-ditch effort onto the Landorus to potentially KO it this turn, and go for a Rock Slide with my Landorus. And the only reason why this Landorus outspeeds my Landorus is it's Scarfed. It's Scarfed. So, he's going to go for the Earthquake, the safe KO, 100% chance to hit my Kangaskhan to get rid of it, because he doesn't want me to get Sucker Punches off, which was good on his part, but he should have went for the Rock Slide. They get chip damage onto my Landorus, as well as potentially knocking out the Kangaskhan. So his Landorus is going to go down right here, and it all comes down to who is faster. His Tailwind is up. I can protect with my Landorus. I have to get rid of his Tailwind right here. So I knew there was one turn of Tailwind left, so I had to go for the Protect. Now, it depends on who is faster. I thought I was going to lose because I kind of figured this was max speed Charizard, but it's not. It's modest. So I outspeed it with my Jolly Landorus, get off a Life Orb Rock Slide, and that's game. And it didn't matter whether or not that Charizard had a bulk investment, and it doesn't matter whether or not I was intimidated. That's why I loved Life Orb Landorus so much, and that's why I brought it to this event, because even with an Intimidate, the Life Orb compensates for the Intimidate. Actually, when the Intimidate goes down into my Landorus, I believe Life Orb makes it neutral again, and it's strong to begin with. Whether or not I get a Intimidate on my Landorus, Life Orb Superpower from this Landorus will OHKO Kangaskhan's without investment, and it will KO with investment without the Intimidate. So very, very awesome match to Andy Schock, and that was my second win of the day. At this point, I was 2-0, and I went on to face Chupacross in round 3, which you're going to see in the next video, and I'm just going to put all these videos out on the same day. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I really did enjoy the entire event today. Went 5-3. I was very proud of myself. Didn't do very good in Top Cut, but it was my first Top Cut I ever made, so I was really nervous, and I mean, really, I didn't really care. You're going to see the Top Cut matches. They were really, really ridiculous on my part. I made so many stupid plays, but, you know, I can learn from that, and, you know, when I get into Top Cut, I know what to expect now. Anyway, I'll catch you in the next video against Chupacross round 3.